Hello and welcome to the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. We're starting a 4-game slate today here on day 3 of the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. It's pool play, the final day of pool play, and we get things started with Argentina and Canada before Group B finishes up with Brazil and the Dominican Republic right after this. But we are set for a good one with 2 undefeated teams here in action to start things off today. The last 2 games finalized Group A with Puerto Rico and Colombia, and Mexico and the United States. I'm Andrew Willett on the call. You can find me on social media at TheACWillett22, Willett, W-I-L-L-E-T-T, and at APB Show, where I host a pro basketball show. We're all set and ready for Argentina and Canada. As always, this is not your typical broadcast where I will be able to interact with you, have a good time in the YouTube chat, so please tune in there and we'll have a fun time broadcasting this championship. Hopefully get to hear with you and interact with you in the chat. So thank you so much for all of those tuning in there. If not, head on over to YouTube as we will take a quick breather before getting things going with the national anthems. Both teams exchange pleasantries, and we are excited to get started here from Yucatan in Mexico, the host site of the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championships, as the FIBA Regional Office in the Americas, in association with the Mexican Basketball Federation, have come together to bring the premier girls youth event of the Americas to Merida, Yucatan, Mexico. The games will be played here at the Proliferum Zamna, and so far we are 8 games in, about to start 9 through 12, as every team played 3 games in pool play, one against the other 3 teams in their specific group. There were 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Group A made up of Mexico, the United States, Puerto Rico, and Colombia, with Group B including Brazil, the Dominican Republic, Argentina, and Canada. So far in Group A, they played the evening games. That's got the United States at 2-0, Colombia and Puerto Rico each at 1-1, with Colombia having the tiebreaker as of right now, and then Mexico, the host site, at 0-2 in the tournament. For Group B, you've got Canada and Argentina both atop Group B at 2-0, with Brazil and the Dominican Republic each at 0-2. One team in Group B will come away undefeated. One team, unfortunately, will head into tournament play Saturday, Sunday, Monday at 0-3. For Argentina and Canada, you see the starting lineups. I'll run through the rosters real fast. For Argentina, they are coached by Paula Budini. Assistants Laura Gonzalez and Rocio Perez. Players on the roster. Isabella Bouillon, Juana Barrio Nuevo, Fiamma Solis, Sol de Petris, Maligros Morel, Rocio Leta, Florencia Bragado, Abril Ochoa, Catalina Creolani, Sofia Novoa, Renata Stordo, and Isabella Ingenito. For Team Canada, Fabienne Blizzard is the coach of the U16 team, with Isabelle Ormond and Diana Ross as assistants. And the roster is made up of Jada Denise, Irnoe, Savannah Swords, Denaya Prawl, Sierra Parchment, Jada Queeley, Chance Berry, Avery Orige, Sarah Reed, Marie Talley, Rachel Ototo, and Jordan Wheeler. As mentioned, both of these teams come in undefeated, with Canada having won their last game by 50 points. They've got 2 30-plus point blowout wins. So they have been dominant so far in this tournament. While Argentina, 2 double-digit wins, but not nearly as dominant, at least as far as the score goes, with their last win coming over Brazil. So a tough challenge for each of these teams coming up. But starting lineups about to get announced. As always, not your typical broadcast here. So wherever you're watching, thank you for watching. But try and hop into our YouTube stream and get involved with our chat. You can find it by searching FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube, or at fiba.basketball/Americas/U16women/2023, where you can make sure to like and share and interact in the chat, or you can interact on social media on Facebook or Instagram at NextGenHoops using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to follow there and subscribe to our YouTube channel, FIBA the Basketball Channel, as we're going to have a great time in the chat. Right now, thank you to those who have already chimed in. Let me know where you're watching from. We're all going to have a great time. I see already. Reg says, let's go Canada. Lori says, vamos. Let's see, where else? Jundi, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, says all from the Philippines. I love it. Matela, mentioning Argentina, and a few more for Argentina. Yedison. So thank you so much for tuning in, as we have a good one coming up. We'll see if Canada is ready for the challenge of undefeated Argentina. We'll see if Argentina can almost play as a surprise underdog against the dominant Canada. Opening tip, Milagros Morel and Sierra Parchment. And that one is won by Parchment right over to Denaya Prawl. Prawl makes the quick move for 2. That's a way to get things started. Denaya Prawl, early basket. Followed by, I'm not sure what the whistle was for, but Argentina gets their first possession. That was a quick one for both sides, as Argentina also turns it over. Down low, shot at the rim. And there is the basket from Inoue. Inoue with the twitch score makes it 4-0, and the full court pressure from Canada has been dominant all season long. As Argentina dealing with some turnover issues, 23.5 per game so far in this tournament, will have to take care of the ball a lot better if they want to compete with Canada. Wristy pass, able to be controlled by Barrio Nuevo. Drops down. And out. Here is Sol de Petri. Kicked out, Barrio Nuevo for 3. Now that has been the strong suit of this Argentina basketball team, the three-point shooting. It was in large part the difference maker yesterday, as they shot an absurd 46% from three-point range. Sierra Parchment, her 3 cannot follow, and Morel takes it up the court herself. Up ahead to Petris. Driving baseline. As we'll see a DePetri 3 fall. And Argentina with the early lead, a minute and a half into this one after a 4-0 start from Canada. Back-to-back triples for Argentina. We'll jump to the chat. Jennifer says hi. Reg, watching from Toronto, Canada. Bernardo says Juanita. Lawrence, watching from Nevada. Tashon says Canada, I guess. Let's see, where else are we watching from? As an easy score, as Canada has faltered after a hot start. 8-4, Argentina on top. Salvador says, hi, my friend. I am for the USA. Jennifer, watching from Aleppo. Bonnie Armstrong, watching Canada from Egypt. Go Sarah. And Sarah Reed fans. As Bonnie, we've seen you in the chat prior to. We've had some fun on these Canada broadcasts. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Maria says, Vamos, Argentina. And Nathan C. says, Sarah Reed in Canada's lineup. She did not play yesterday with illness. We will see if she is set to play today. Luz Winkler mentions Canada and Argentina. Jose mentions Argentina. And Pau mentions New Zealand. So a lot of fans. Oh, yep, Louis watching from El Paso, Texas. So a lot of fans tuning into this one. As we've already gone back and forth. Jennifer mentions, wow, quick 4 points. It was a quick 4 points for Canada. Argentina was a little slow coming out of the gate. But once they settled into their half-court offense, those threes start falling. As I mentioned, 46% from 3 yesterday. They've hit a pretty absurd clip throughout the tournament. And that's where Canada needs to step up as Parchment knocks down a triple. And they settle right back into that full-court pressure. DePetri with a nice move. Can't finish at the rim. Canada responds by getting out on the run. Gotta have better transition defense than that, as Prohl again at the rim. Her second basket. Canada regains the lead. Just as it was a quick 8 points for Argentina, a quick 5 back the other way for Canada. 3 on the way. DePetri banks it home. Banks is open from Yucatan, Mexico. 12:30 local time, so I'd hope so. Here on a Thursday afternoon. And back and forth we go as Argentina proving to be ready to play. But a triple back the other way from Savannah Swords. Another lead change as Argentina pushes up the court. And the whistle blows. As I mentioned, Canada, the three-point shooting. In their last win, shot 40% from downtown compared to 20% for the Dominican Republic. For the tournament, though, just 29%. So that tells you how much their three-point shooting struggled in that first game of the tournament. If they shot 40% last time in a big-time win, but to not hit threes in the first game. So that is a huge bellwether for how good this Canada team can be. As in the first half of their first game against Brazil, they did not shoot very well. They did knock down a few threes in the second half, but yesterday's, in game 2 for Canada, they had the three-point shot rolling. As a floater from Denise, no. And the rebound pulled down from Isabella Bouillon, jump ball. Antonella in the chat says Argentina. And Jennifer calls this a very good game. I think this has a chance to be one of the higher level basketball games in this tournament. As so far, so many lead changes and a sweet scoop and score. What control on the shot from Fiamma Solis. Wow, in transition, and yet another lead change. Nearly halfway through the first quarter, Prawl takes the step back. Had it going with 2 early baskets, but could not hit that shot. And Argentina, following the stop, well, did it to Milagros Morel, who is having quite the tournament. Had a 20-10 double-double last game. 17-16 the game before. 2 double-doubles has been outstanding, but a quiet start nonetheless. Canada has Wheeler driving and fouled. Wheeler didn't have the strongest first game. Only shooting 35% from the field, but had 8 points last game. 4 for 8 from 2-point range. Missed her lone 3-pointer. And the first free throws of the night coming up for Canada. Shot no from Wheeler. Plays for A.N. Meyer in Canada. The 15-year-old. Salvador Chavez, thank you so much for chiming in the chat. How many games will I be doing? I have the first 2 games of the day, and then Craig takes over for the final 2 games, the Group A games. And then we did a day off on Friday before basketball resumes Saturday, and tournament action gets decided as another 3 nearly banked in, and an offensive rebound selected by Argentina. Shot on the way on the follow, no, and this one pulled down by Canada. Rebounded. So far, Argentina with the advantage, 5-3. And Canada going up against the man-to-man defense. Settles for a 3, no, at the end of the shot clock. The rebound and the follow. And we did a walk from Maria Talley. Talley's played some solid minutes off the bench for this team. She has averaged 6.5 points per game through 2 games, had 9 in her last outing. Right now we're sitting at 69 likes. Let's see if we can't get that a bit higher, 75, maybe even aim for 100 here at the end of this first quarter. We appreciate you all for tuning in. As Argentina commits another turnover. That is turnover number 4, I believe. Dalton Holyfield, thank you so much for asking. I believe I will be on the first 2 games. Well, we'll see how this schedule works out. But yeah, I'm the afternoon guy for the tournament, and we've had a great time here with the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. Argentina off the miss. A tie ball game as Morel Takes one dribble into a triple. Count that, the third triple already. Excuse me, that's the fourth triple. 4 for 5 from downtown. Argentina showing off the skill as Canada misses again. Chad pointing out he wishes he could watch this. We wish you could tune in too. But good luck to Argentina and Canada, he says. As we get a timeout with 3:12 in the first quarter. Argentina behind some hot shooting with an early lead. Canada got out to a hot start. Prawl went right to the basket, went right to work, as well as the full court press. But since then, it has been all Argentina. If you're in the chat, let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know who you're cheering for. As we take a quick breather in the first quarter. We're up to 84 likes, so that's a vast improvement. Let's see if we can't hit 100 here soon. As FIBA having a great time for the U16 Women's Americas Championship. Again, a great time to remind you. We appreciate you watching, but try and hop in and watch on our YouTube stream where you can get involved with our YouTube chat. Find it by searching FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube or going to fiba.basketball/Americas/U16women/2023 where you make sure to like and share. You can find a lot more information on there as well as this link. But interact here in the chat or with us on social media, Facebook and Instagram @NextGenHoops using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to like, subscribe, and yeah, we'll have a great time here in the chat. Salvador says he can't wait for the Mexico game today at FIBA. Mexico, United States, neighboring countries. Looking forward to that one. As a foul called out of the timeout, Barrio Nuevo. Juana, the 5'4" point guard. And a side out of bounds. Let's see, we've got quite a few cheering for Canada in the chat. Lawrence added a like. Lawrence, thank you so much. Adrian cheering for Argentina. I like to hear that. Papo Beati cheering for Argentina as well, I believe, as a three-pointer. A rare three-pointer off the mark for Argentina. And Tally with the nice move. Blocked up top. Morel using that size. Canada trying to attack. Argentina doing a good job getting out to shooters. And a turnover by Canada. The defense of Argentina has been surprisingly solid. Dr. Thierry Kimbameta, thank you so much for joining us back here again. Says, wow, Argentina playing great. Cheering for Canada for sure. And watching from Switzerland. Thank you for tuning in. Salvador watching on YouTube, appreciate you. Alexander says, vamos, Argentina. As another floater up and no good. The follow out of bounds. Canada will take over possession. Harlow says, Canada. Dr. Thierry Timbameta, watching from Switzerland on YouTube. Appreciate you. Alexander, telling it right now, Argentina will win. As Canada breaks into the half court. Denise had a great game yesterday. 15 points. 4 from 8 from the field. As well as 3 for 5 from downtown. As Irene Eruna scores and brings the deficit even shorter. Isabella Ingenito into the ball game for Argentina. Out there with Milagros Morel, who gets it down to Catalina Trealani. Her shot, no. Juana Barrio Nuevo. And I believe the 5th player out there is Fiamma Solis. Yes, it is. Canada moving it around. Avery Orige for a 3. And Canada retakes the lead. That is the 6th lead change so far, as Barrio Nuevo ties it up. Somehow our first tie to go along with 6 lead changes, 18 apiece. And Argentina hitting the deck, trying to get after the loose ball. Orige comes up with it. 3 from the corner, brawl, no. Argentina on the push. Solis, a nice gather dribble. Gives it up, Morel. Nearly finishes a hook shot. Creolani fouled on the follow. ASAP Anime says, just got home from work. How is Argentina doing this? That's a great question for you. As from my vantage point, it's the three-point shooting yet again. 67% from downtown. They knocked down 4 of their first 5 triples to put them on top, 16-13. And the defense has been really solid. The defense zone at times, but mostly man-to-man. Handling Canada, the size down low from a Milagros Morel at 6'3", just playing the power forward position. Really solid as Catalina Creolani checks in and knocks down the free throw. But the other thing I would point out for Argentina, early turnovers had them not looking so hot. But since then, they just have 2 more turnovers, so they have 4 turnovers compared to Canada's 3. That's manageable as we sit here in a 1-point game with 30 seconds left in the first. Ball moves around to Orige. Orige knocked down the triple already. Kicked out to Wheeler, whose foot was out of bounds. And now we're all tied up as far as turnovers go. As we get another turnover by Argentina, never mind. Canada will have control of this last possession. And it looks like a drive and kick. Wheeler will try from 3 again and splash it home. What a way to end the first. Jordan Wheeler gives Canada the lead, as we have watched a fun basketball game so far, and we'll take a quick break over here with Canada taking the 8th lead change, put them on top 21-19. But Argentina hanging tight as we've got the battle of the undefeateds, second quarter after this.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation? representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands. It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
And welcome back here out of the first quarter break. Second quarter underway. Canada just a 2-point advantage over Argentina as Argentina comes out in the zone. Shot no good from Prawl, and tough rebound for Creolani as Rocio Leta checking in for the first time. Leta has done great work with her ball pressure as a whistle is blown and the foul is called. Argentina did a great job in that first quarter staying in the ball game behind some ridiculous three-point shooting. 4 for 6 from downtown as we saw 8 lead changes, including on the final shot from Jordan Wheeler in the first quarter, as well as 1 tie. This has been a close one. Milagros Morel has yet to really get started. Her shot, again, no. She does have the 1 triple in transition along with 3 rebounds and an assist. But now 1 for 3 from the field. Possession stays into Morel. The smaller swords, but Morel turns it over. Turnovers can be an issue for Argentina, that being their 5th. The 2nd on Morel. As always, thank you for tuning in here on the YouTube chat. Go to FIBA/the basketball channel. Just search FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube. And we can have some fun in the chat. I'll try and hop over and interact as we go. But we are also watching a good basketball game with Canada and Argentina, the 2 undefeated teams in Group B. One of them will head into tournament play Saturday, Sunday, Monday, undefeated, and with a higher seed. As Canada working against the man-to-man, the help defense has been there for Argentina, as you saw right there. And a jump ball, I believe, is the call. So again, a shout out from the chat. We'll jump through. Carla Fletcher says, let's go Canada. Let's go Prawl champ. I love it. Theon says, let's go Canada. Love from Toronto. Argentina are a more balanced team this year than the previous U16 teams, according to Lawrence Hufford. Like to see that. Savonia says, let's go Canada. Jose Luis Romero says, vamos Argentina. And Zatyan says, let's go girls, finish out undefeated. And closer than it should be. Come on. Hey, Argentina is putting up the fight, Zach. What do you think Canada needs to be doing a little bit better? Let me know. As Leta is fouled. Canada does have the 2-point lead, as they were led in that first quarter by several scorers with 4 points or 3 points. You had Denia Prawl, Jordan Wheeler, Irni Inoue, all with 4 points apiece. And then 3 points for Sierra Parchment, Savannah Swords, Avery Arije. As they still hold on to that advantage. For Argentina, Morel seems to be forcing it a little bit. Somehow draws the foul right there, much to the delight of Paula Budini, head coach of Argentina's U16 women's basketball team. But it was Sol de Petri knocking down 2 triples, including banking one home. Milagros Morel hit a 3, and Juana Barrio Nuevo went 1 for 2 from downtown, has 5 points. 4 from Fiamma Solis, both from 2-point range, as Morel hoping to get started here, get going a little bit better. As I've mentioned, just an unreal tournament so far, averaging 18.5 points per game, 13 rebounds a night, to go along with 3 assists per game. That is quite the way to fill the stat sheet down low. But she's also doing it from downtown, knocking down 2 threes a game, a 50% flip. Shooting 50% from the field as well as a 3 goes down. Orije. That 3-pointer is 3-pointer number 5 for Canada. So after Morel tied it up for Argentina, Canada knocks down the 3, picks up the steal, and scores on the other end. Holy cow. Canada with a quick 5-0 run. As they're looking to create separation, they have been the more dominant team in this tournament. On Tuesday, the first day of pool play, here for the FIBA U16 Americas Championship, Canada won 69-37 over Brazil. And they followed that up yesterday with a 90-40 win over the Dominican Republic. A 32 and a 50-point win for Canada have just been outstanding, and they do it again here with a quick 5-0 run, causing Argentina to take the timeout, as they have been doing a great job as well throughout this tournament, as mentioned, also undefeated. Argentina, as they played the first game, a 72-62 win over the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic played a lot better on Tuesday than they did on Wednesday. Nonetheless, still a 10-point win for Argentina. And then they followed that up with an 11-point win over Brazil yesterday. And they've played Canada tight up until that turnover and score for Sierra Parchment. Over in the chat, Alejandro says, "Vamos Argentina." Same with Diego, "Vamos Argentina." Then another "Come on Argentina" from Finland. Appreciate you tuning in from Finland. Lawrence Hufford says, "Less turnovers and less fouls." Yeah, I mean, you gotta move your feet a little bit better on defense and then taking care of the basketball. Canada, their pressure has been outstanding so far in this tournament, as Argentina can't get the ball in bounds. A 5-second violation. Zatian says, "I wonder if these South American girls will try to play D1 or play professionally overseas." Respond to him in the chat. Let them know what you think. As I think a lot of these players, very talented players, representing these countries, the future of women's basketball, could have a chance to do either one. Canada, 5-0 run, forces another turnover out of the timeout. A rough play out of a timeout as Prahl steps in, takes a wild shot, and gets it to go, and one. For Canada, Prahl playing some great basketball. I know we've got some fans in the chat cheering for Prahl. There we go. As Prahl, I haven't talked about her tournament enough, just 9 points per game. Pretty steady, as she had 9 points yesterday. With 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists. She had 5 boards and 5 assists yesterday. Shooting just 36% from the field, but 40% from downtown, with a 3-pointer per game. Dania Prahl playing some good basketball and contributing to the 7-point advantage. We've got a few more fans after Prahl misses, and nearly a steal for Canada. Lisandro says, "Vamos Argentina." Antonella says, "Argentina," with several flag emojis. Argentina still struggling to get the basketball in. Cry says hello from Turkey to Canada. Good luck. Reg still cheering for Canada. Appreciate you, Reg. Let me know what you think of the game so far. What have been the factors that have Canada up 7 right now? Why has Argentina played such a great game prior to this 7-0 run? We'll start with the first one. Let me know why Canada has gotten out to the 7-0 run. As Pearl again dicing up the defense. The athletes just a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, it appears, for Canada. We'll see what comes from Canada as they have kept the ball on this side of the court. You don't see that very often in basketball, but they really locked in defensively, and that's what we saw at times in their last 2 games. As they work around the zone, find an open three-pointer, and no from Parchment. Out of bounds, it will go the way of Argentina, which should be a great sign, but Argentina struggling to get the basketball in bounds. Dr. Thierry Timbameta pointing out the great defense from Canada as they nearly picked off another steal. Danae Pearl, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, says, "Let's go Canada. We appreciate you." Thank you for chiming in. Antonella says Argentina. Francisco says hello from Argentina. And come on, Argentina. As Canada picks up yet another steal. Pearl into the lane. Fouled on the way up. They just do not have the defenders to contain Adenia Pearl. If they do, I would seriously consider a substitution for Argentina. As Lawrence Hufford says, Morel has been pretty good for the team. Argentina had some efficiency. Oh, they're leading in efficiency per game this tournament. Looking forward to the next few games. Thanks, Lawrence, for the comment. Danae Pearl says, "Let's go." Dania Pearl, appreciate you so much for chiming in. That is really, really cool. As the free throw, no. 1 for 2 at the line, but an offensive rebound. We have not seen Argentina's side of the court offensively for quite some time. As Pearl has 5 seconds to create, gets into the lane, and her shot rattles home. Argentina now pushing in transition. Wild shot, no. And Pearl, after scoring on one end, picks up the defensive rebound and takes it up herself. Doing it all for Canada. But Ingenito makes the steal. Argentina's got to score. Not this time, says Parchment. And back comes Quealy. Up ahead. Open underneath the rim. Shot, no. From Irni Inoue. And nearly adding to the 10-0 run. But Argentina somehow escapes as they find themselves now in a 10-point deficit. Divine asked who is number 23. And number 23 for Canada would be Jordan Wheeler. Knocked down the first quarter buzzer beater in this one. And so far has 4 points with a rebound. As Tony Spadaro says, why does the offensive team play in front of their bench in the first half in this tournament? Good question, Tony. It is different for every league. Luis agreeing with Lawrence. Francisco Palermo says, we can't say the Canadian team is worse than the U.S., but Argentina is making a great effort. Tyson says, let's go Team Canada. Dania Pearl, number 25 from Mom and Godmother Nicole. That is wonderful. They say we love you. I appreciate you for chiming in the chat. Denia Prahl having a fantastic game already to this point. 9 points, matching her tournament average. 4 for 8 from the field to go on with a board and 2 steals. It's Michael or Michelle, excuse me, but watching from the Caribbean. Says go Canada. As Parchment will check out, Argentina was able to cut into the 10-point advantage, 31-23. As we've had a lot of stoppage here in the second quarter. Still 5:57 left. A lot of that is because of Canada's fantastic pressure defense. Lawrence is referring to us as Argentina and not Team United States, of course. As the inbound to Swords. Kicked out to Sarah Reed. There's Sarah Reed, for those of you asking. Sat out with an illness yesterday. Drive and kick. Shot no from Arije. The follow on the offensive board. Inoue cannot get it to go. ASAP Anime, I really appreciate the question. Asking, how do you feel about purposely fouling bad free throw shooters? Obviously, it makes for a less fun game. I don't know about any alternatives, although you hear some different ones. But I think the main point of fouling a bad free throw shooter is to hit the ball back. It makes for pretty efficient defense. As you have seen this with Shaq and Dwight Howard and different free throw shooters like that in the past. So that's a really interesting question. I think the answer has to be, hey, you just need to be able to shoot free throws better. For those players like that who are getting fouled. Hatch a Shaq. That type of thing. Dini. Michael, or Michelle, excuse me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for the pronunciation there. As Dini will absolutely be the pronunciation moving forward. As a turnover by Canada. Dini to not trace it down. But again, shout out to Hewitt. Says the S is silent. I'm watching to see her, my good friend's daughter. I love it. I appreciate you tuning in. As Morel cannot finish the shot just over the front of the rim. And Canada responds. Denis with the nice pass out ahead. And I believe Inoue puts that away. Devine says, following from Italy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Antoine says, let's go Canada. Hello from Quebec. ASAP Anime, tell me how you feel about that strategy, fouling a good three-point shooter. As Solis knocks down a long jumper. Fiamma Solis. And a foul called as Leta trying to play up close to Denis. Eterno Santos says, Vamos Canada. Antonella still cheering for Argentina. Lawrence says, I was surprised they played 3 straight days compared to some of the tournaments where they take a day off after the second day. So I think the point was to get through this tournament pool play, to determine the seeds, have a day off to prepare for tournament play, and a huge day on Saturday where the 4 semifinalists will be decided. And those 4 semifinalists will advance on to the FIBA U17 World Cup being held in Turkey in June of 2024. So you get the day off prior to that day where a lot is decided. And you do that by taking 3 straight days here in pool play. Lawrence, that's a good point though, as it's a lot of basketball in a short period of time. It makes for a lot of entertainment for us, but it's got to be some wear and tear on these athletes' bodies as Argentina forces the stop. And Canada nearly picks up the steal, but out of bounds. Paul Morris, excuse me, says, go Sarah. Cheering for Sarah Reed over on the Canadian side. Edison says Argentina. Evan Welch points out ankles. As Canada's ball pressure creates yet another basket from Denis. Argentina trying to push as they see themselves trailing now by 11. Frank says Team Canada has a great game plan, especially with the pressure defense. I think the pressure defense has been incredible for Canada throughout this tournament, as they are forcing an absurd amount of turnovers, 42 turnovers by the Dominican Republic last time out. Just an absurd number as compared to, they had 20 turnovers yesterday. So they're winning that turnover battle for sure, and it's a huge part of their success so far. Kayla Fletcher says, let's go, Dania Prawl. Love you, girl. Cheering for Team Canada. Zatyon asked if I will be doing Canada's quarterfinal game. And it really all depends on the scheduling. I believe I will have... I believe I will have the two best teams from Group A rather than the two best teams from Group B. But that will still to be seen with tournament play still going. As Canada has the basketball. After a 1-for-2 trip to the line, Parchment easily finishes over Barrio Nuevo. The height advantage has just been too much for Argentina. Canada's average height, 5'11" compared to Argentina at 5'9". And a lot of those guards are struggling defensively to contain the speed, athleticism, and height of Canada as they're out to a 12-point advantage. Argentina with the ball after some substitutions. A few more comments. As Zat, I appreciate the question. Zat Young, thank you. Clayla says, Vamos Argentina. Jose Garcia asked me what I think of Ricky Rubio. We'll get into that in a second. Let's see. Cam Russell says, let's go Team Canada. How many days for this event from Antoine? So yes, we have 3 days of pool play. Today is day 3. And then 3 days of tournament action. But we do get a day off in between. So 7 days with 1 day off. The first 3 days, tournament action. Or pool play, rather. Followed by Saturday, Sunday, Monday coming up for tournament play. The 4 semifinalists will advance to the FIBA U17 World Cup to be held in Turkey in June 2024. And that will be decided on Saturday's games after a day off on Friday. ASAP Anime asked, who does the U.S. play today? That's Mexico, and that's at 8 p.m. local time and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The U.S. undefeated, the only undefeated team over in Group A at 2-0. Dr. Thierry Timbameta says Argentina has no answer to Canada on defense. The defense is becoming insane. Okay, so no answer to Canada's defense. Yeah, the pressure, especially on that full court press. Argentina has struggled to get the ball inbounded. They have to push it up the court if they ever want to, and that gets them out of their half-court offense, where they have really been successful. JR says, Canada basketball is on the rise at all ages. Nice to see. Go Canada. Love to see the support. Still, I won't forget that Ricky Rubio question. Yeah, our Twitter Ward Ed pointing out that Argentina is struggling. They did it across half court and did an open shot. That's they are. The defense has been very, very good. Lawrence Hufford says Mexico as soon as possible. And that is coming up 8 p.m. local time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Lawrence. Vamos Argentina from Antonella. Ed saying easy for Canada. Papo Beati saying go Argentina. Francido saying vamos. Ghost Peter throwing out the Canadian flag emoji. Pepe Mendoza saying vamos Argentina from Lima, Peru. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. Jose Garcia, we'll get to your question in a second. Antonella shouting out Argentina again. Antoine asking, in which country does the competition take place? It is in Mexico right now for the sixth time in 8 editions. They have hosted now the last 2, as well as the first 4 editions, dating back to the early 2000s. But yes, we are in Yucatan, Mexico, as Canada has really bogged this game down. Free throws from Argentina. Hewitt says, haven't seen Canada or the USA team play yet. What are the chances of Canada playing against them if they meet? Oh, what are the chances of Canada against them if they meet? The U.S. has by far and away been the most dominant team in this tournament, putting up 124 points in the first game and 93 in the second. Canada, it will be a tough challenge going up against the U.S., but that would likely be in a championship round if Canada can hold on to this lead, because they would be the top 2 seeds, and if they can win the first couple of tournament games, semifinal rounds as well, they would face off in the championship for first place. But yeah, it would be really tough for Canada in that game. Zach Young pointing out Canada's press unreal as they force another turnover. 2 minutes left here in this first half. Another vamos Argentina, vamos Canada. Fernando says grande Canada. They are much taller and stronger so far than Argentina, who has really struggled with the shot after a hot start. Lawrence pointing out the minutes for Morel, as he is up around 17, so hasn't played the entirety, but for a vast majority, and they need her out there, as we did a timeout, and a 15-point advantage for Canada. Ed saying easy minus 12 for Canada. Fernando Guerrero loving on Canada a lot. And Antoine with another question asking how I'm finding the match so far. Okay. Well, first of all, I'll touch on the Ricky Rubio question now that we are in a timeout. And personally, I am a fan of Ricky Rubio. I thought he was really an underrated point guard during his prime years. I think by the time or at least now, the last couple of seasons, he has lost the athleticism of a true lead guard that you need, but he is a very good backup still nonetheless. I think Minnesota was a tough place for him to try to succeed. That has been a struggling franchise for some time. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm a fan over there of Ricky Rubio, and think Cleveland is a good place for him to be as a backup point guard. Unfortunate torn ACL recently, though, for him. Antoine asking how I'm finding the match so far, and early on, it was okay. Canada has the athletes. They have been very, very, very impressive. But then Argentina just knocking down an absurd number of shots. They hit 4 of their first 5 threes. Since then, they have missed their last 4 triples, shooting now just 33% from the floor, which is not a good look, as they've really struggled, and I said this prior to, with the turnovers. 15 turnovers compared to 9 for Canada, as they had 22 yesterday, which was less than Brazil, their opponent, but so far in the first half, 15 already, nearly 16. Canada's defense has been all about it, and that's what we've seen in the second quarter so far. They've really mucked up the game, made it a little bit harder for Canada, or for Argentina rather, to go in and score points, and at moments harder for them to get it into the half court. The full court pressure has been tremendous from Canada, And it's why they're out to a 15-point lead, now a 13-point lead with a minute to go until halftime. Argentina, nonetheless, still in this, thanks to the effort as Okoko picks up the foul underneath. And Argentina going to need to have a strong 49.7 seconds here to see if they can keep this a good basketball game. Lawrence asked him, what's the most exciting match that I have covered so far? So I got to start the Argentina-Dominican Republic game, which looked like it was going to be out of hand. But then the Dominican Republic made it quite the basketball game going down the stretch. Canada and Brazil was close about a halfway through until Canada just exploded in the second half. Argentina-Brazil was relatively close. 70-59 at the end, with Argentina just pulling through thanks to some exceptional three-point shooting. But so far this one, I thought I had high expectations for this one. Two undefeated teams going at it. So that's a good question. Certainly has been a fun tournament, but the dominant teams showing themselves to be dominant thus far. As Argentina reaches 30 points and a 12-point game. 45 seconds left in the first. First half, that is. As shot no, but follow. And Tally is fouled on the offensive rebound. I know Jose and Lawrence, thank you guys so much for the questions. I really appreciate it. It's fun to interact with you guys. Ask whatever you want, and we'll be sure to get into it with halftime coming soon and a whole second half with another game after it. And we should have some competitive games today, but Argentina going to have to fight their way back into this one and figure some things out at halftime. Michelle Doyle says, let's go Team Canada, here in Montreal, cheering for the team, and especially number 11, Sarah Reed, who plays on the Newfoundland U17 team. Sarah Reed has been playing some good basketball and has a lot of fans out there in the chat. Chad, responding to Dr. Thierry Timbameko's question about how Canada would fare against the USA, and says the USA overwhelmed and destroyed Colombia, but Colombia was still proud of the team's effort. Chad, appreciate that insight. Yeah, the United States have just been outstanding. Chad, appreciate your insight. Thank you for jumping in. Someone says Argentina only scoring from the free throw line, just like soccer, only scoring penalties. That is unfortunate. Their scoring in the second quarter has really taken a fall, as they've only got 11 points compared to Canada with 21. Lawrence asking, what adjustments should Argentina need to do in the second half? That's a great question, Lawrence. To that here in a second. As the referee's deciding to take a look at a call, as it is under official review. Zach Young says Argentina showing why they're the favorite for bronze. They have been competing, but really struggled with turnovers in the second quarter. Turnovers, and it's really bogged down their offense, not able to get a whole bunch to go. So I guess to try to answer your question, and seriously, thank you so much for the question, Lawrence. I think what needs to be done here in the second half for Argentina is solving this half-court pressure and ball pressure in general. Full court and half-court pressure from Canada, because the turnovers just terrible. 16 turnovers for Argentina. It's going to be hard to win a lot of games like that. And for Paul Boudini's squad, they have to figure out how to get back into the half court while taking advantage of the easy full court opportunities that they've had, because they missed out on a few of those as well. And so you've got to break the press. You've got to get the ball into the hands of your best ball handlers. And that's players like Juana Barrio Nuevo, but Sol de Petris, Fiamma Solis. They need to have the ball more. Maybe a little more Rocio Leta. And this is all offensive adjustments that I think I would make. In the chat, please feel free to point out what you would change, as they're still under review here. But offensively, yeah, get it into the hands of your best ball handlers and rely on the pass against this full court pressure rather than trying to dribble your way through it, as we've seen a lot of turnovers stem from that. It also doesn't help passing against the taller and longer arms of the Canadian U16 team. They're just a little bit more athletic, and when they put that to use defensively, we saw it at times in the first game, especially the second half against Brazil. We saw that throughout the entirety of that game against the Dominican Republic. Just a dominant win. But then so far here in this one, yeah, the defense has really bothered Argentina, so they've got to get into their best ball handlers and set up some more of that offense that they have really done a great job of once they did it into the half court. And I would recommend trying to go a little bit inside more, pushing inside and then out to your three-point shooters, where they have been so successful in this tournament, including 46% yesterday, even 44% today. Now at a 12-point disadvantage, an offensive foul called after the official review. And that's Renata Scordo picking up the offensive foul. Giving Canada the basketball with 23 seconds. And no shot clock, that is correct. Canada should save for the last shot. Lawrence pointing out the turnovers. Yeah, 22 against Brazil is really tough. As Canada follows with the shot. Now 44-30. 2 seconds. One, and no shot gets off. As nearly just went off the rim. But Canada taking the advantage into the break, a 44-30 halftime lead, and that has been in large part thanks to some stellar defense from the Canadian team. They're shooting 44% from the field, 35% from three. They've hit 5 3-pointers, gotten to the free throw line 11 times. They have 9 steals to go along with 2 blocks. They are losing the rebounding 22-20. Argentina with the advantage there. But they are stopping Argentina from getting good 3-point shots off, as they're struggling from the field 36%, to go along with 16 Argentina turnovers compared to just 8 assists. Well, you've got 12 assists over on the Canadian side. Leading the way for both teams, Solis and Peral. As we will take a quick break here before we get to the chat. We get to a few more comments as well as some more stats heading into the second half. A 14-point advantage led by Denaya Peral, not only offensively with the 11 points, 2 boards, 3 for 5 from the free throw line, but also the defense has been stellar. Her athleticism has been on display and out to a great start. A large part of why Canada in control and determined to be the undefeated team out of Group B as we head into the break. Argentina, we'll see what they've got after this quick one. We appreciate you for tuning in on YouTube as the FIBA U16 Americas Championship continues pool play after this.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation? Representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands. It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Welcome back. Second half action just about underway between Argentina and Canada, as Canada in full control through one half of basketball, 44-30 to behind a dominant second quarter, that is, where the defense was on full display. It led to offense, and Argentina did not get much going. As we jump through the scoring leaders, first for Argentina, they find themselves trailing. Got 7 apiece from Sol de Petris and Fiamma Solis. You've got 5 apiece from Milagros Morel and Juana Barrio Nuevo. And 3 points from Renata Scordo. For Canada, they're being led by Dania Prawl. Prawl has played fantastic on defense and has 11 points. Right ahead of Sierra Parchment, who's chipped in 9 points and 2 rebounds as well as an assist. And you've also got 6 from Irni Irnue and Avery Arige. As we start second half action, thank you so much for tuning in to the broadcast. We appreciate it. As Denis, 3-pointer off the mark. As always, thank you for tuning in, but try and tune in on YouTube where you can get involved with our chat. Go to YouTube, search up FIBA U16 Americas, or go to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023, where you can make sure to like and subscribe and just interact with us here. Share it around and interact on YouTube or on social media, on Facebook and Instagram at NextGenHoops, using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Argentina still struggling against that very good Canadian defense. Prawl is everywhere. We have some fans in the chat of hers. We really appreciate it. As Argentina needs to find a rhythm offensively. The ball pressure has really got them out of taking care of the basketball. Down low, Bouillon has it poked away. Parchment. Back comes Canada. And out of bounds. Looks like it will go the way of Argentina against the press. Jumping over to the chat. We appreciate you guys tuning in there. As Abel says hello to our friends in Canada from Puerto Rico. Your team is playing more aggressive, and that makes the difference. Abel Ortiz, Abel, excuse me. That makes a lot of sense. That is what I've been seeing as well. Taylor Fletcher, still cheering for Canada. I appreciate you for still chiming in. We've surpassed the 200 like mark. Let's see if we can get that even higher. Hop in there and give it a like, as we are having some fun over here. John Alexander Rios says Canada with the maple leaf emoji. Antonella, still Vamos Argentina. But Canada looking good so far. Argentina going to have to fight to get back into this one as 2 free throws fall. Into the lane, Swords. Shot no, the follow, and Irnue. And the lead back to 14. The largest lead, I believe, was 15. As that first half and through the first minute and a half of the second half, Canada shooting a better percentage from the field. 42% compared to 36% for Argentina. As De Petri gets right to the rim and cannot finish on the left side. Prawl into the lane for 2. Prawl able to explode and just finish over the top. Increases the field goal percentage up to 43. As Argentina drops to 35. And even 33 as Morel misses the open triple. Much needed opportunity as the lead reaches 16, the largest of the night. Canada with the basketball, 2 minutes down. From 3-point range, Argentina still shooting 40% compared to 33% for Canada. That is what Argentina has going for them. Free throws, higher rate for Canada or Argentina as well. Steals, Canada's got 10 compared to 3 for Argentina. And that's led to 17 Argentina turnovers to just 11 for Canada. 12 shots assisted by Canada to just 8 for Argentina. Even on blocks. And I think the real difference maker, points from turnovers, 6 for Argentina, 19 for Canada. As Canada, the Petrie all the way to the rim for 2 and 1. Much needed after the lead hit 19. Now just a 17-point ball game. Got 207 lights. Let's see if we can get a few more here. As the and one free throw, no. And the rebound controlled by Canada. Chime into the chat. Let me know where you're watching from on the YouTube stream. As Swords tosses it up and in. Lead back to 19. What was thought to be a close game has certainly gotten out of hand, as Argentina struggling on offense against this Canadian defense. Sarah Reed, with a lot of fans in the chat, forces the turnover. Turnover number 18 against Argentina. Of course, this is day 3, the final day of pool play. And this is the first game between Argentina and Canada. Up next, we've got Brazil and the Dominican Republic to close out Group B. I'll be on the call through the end of that one. Then credit takes over for Puerto Rico and Colombia, and Mexico and the United States to close things out. Before a day off tomorrow, and tournament play Saturday, Sunday, Monday, with Saturday deciding. A lot at stake, with the 4 semifinalists advancing to the FIBA U17 World Cup, to be held in Turkey in June of 2024. Canada still striving, still building that lead. Shot good from Canada's Irni Inoue, the 6-foot forward. At 15 years of age, plays for Edge School Prep. Goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. As Morel breaks out. Morel traveled off the catch. And what has been a tough day for Milagros Morel. That being her 7th turnover and the 19th against Argentina. Morel, just 5 points on 1 for 5 shooting, 1 for 2 from downtown, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. But still 20% from the field, 6 rebounds to go with 1 assist and 7 turnovers. Canada has done their job against one of the tournament's best players in Milagros Morel. At 6'3", the power forward had been averaging 18.5 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 assists. And it's just been stifled so far today, halfway through the third quarter. A 22-point Canada advantage. As all of the seeding will be decided today, as Canada stops Bouillon. And out ahead comes Sarah Reed. Drive, kick. 3 on the way. That one just short. Rebound Morel. And Rocio Leta into the ball game. Speeds up the court. Has it poked away. Prawl getting down and poking that ball away. Jump ball. For those of you viewing, let me know who your favorite player is out here on either of these teams. Canada out to a very strong start. As Taylor Fletcher sends a bunch of Canadian flag emojis. Jean-Alexander Rios says Canada with the maple leaf. And a Vamos Argentina. As Leta gets it down low. Bouillon tries to finish, but Parchment all over the post attempt. And a block and a foul against Argentina. Canada's path to Didden here, a 32-point victory and a 50-point victory. And up until the last 5 seconds of the first quarter, Argentina was not only in this game, but had the lead. Jordan Wheeler knocked down a buzzer beater to close out the first quarter, and they have not looked back since. As another floater falls from Chance Berry. Chance Berry is someone I know fans of Canada are very excited about. Gives the Canadian U16 a 24-point advantage. And nearly forces another turnover, and does. Ball pressure leads to Chance Berry trying the Euro. Now dropping it down. Parchment, no. Coming away with it. Inside out dribble. Able to be picked up by... Struggling to see what number that is. Sofia Navoa. Okay, number 8. But that has been quite the run for Canada since the end of the first quarter, where they have outscored Argentina 40-15 over the last 16 minutes or so. Unreal. Argentina inbounds. Let's see what Rocioleta can provide for this offense off the bench. Another Argentina turnover. Turnover number 20. 21, rather. As Canada's defense has been rock solid. And it has this Argentina team really razzled. Not doing so hot on the offensive end. That time it wasn't even forced by Canada, as back the other way. 2 free throws coming for Chance Berry. Chance Berry. It's at a 25-point advantage. For those of you watching, jump in the chat. Let me know who you are cheering for. Let me know who your favorite basketball teams, not only in this tournament, but around the world are. I'm curious. As we appreciate you watching, of course, try to chime in on YouTube. Get into the chat, searching FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube, or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 Women/2023. We can make sure to like and share. Just interact with us here. We can have some fun in the chat. As Canada blowing away Argentina by 25 points. Of course, also remember to follow us at NextGenHoops on Facebook and Instagram, and interact using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to follow there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And join the chat, have some fun here this afternoon. Canada's lead up to a high 27-point mark, as they are showing to be the dominant team. At the free throw line, Navoa Sofia Novoa, 5'9" point guard, only 14 years of age. Getting some minutes here. Has not played much. Didn't play last game, that is. In her one appearance in the first game, did collect a rebound and missed a three-pointer. As now 1 for 2 at the stripe. And that sets a huge scoring drought for Argentina, as they have now scored 5 points in 7 third quarter minutes. Down the lane, shot at the rim, no. The follow, yes. Marie Talley able to finish. As in Henito tries to step back three, that time no. Canada with the board and the run out. Spin move, nice play. And Savannah Swords finishes at the rim. Savannah Swords plays for Long Island Lutheran, the 6-foot forward. Averaging 10 points per game in this tournament. And that shot puts her up to 10 in tonight's game. So she meets her average. As the three-pointer no good from Argentina. Canada with the basketball and a 30-point advantage. Is driving in, Chance Berry dumps it off, no. And all over the offensive glass, offensive rebound in another place Canada has excelled at. Got 15 offensive rebounds. Just an absurd number, as they are now winning the rebounding battle. 15-6 on the old glass, and overall 33-27. Very impressive for Canada. Alright, it looks like the streaming was interrupted. Apologies for that, but we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Dr. Thierry Timbameta, thank you for tuning in. Amongst others, Melissa, Daniela, Papo Beati, excuse me. As bat the other way. Canada on the drive, the shot. That time, no. On the follow, Canada just dominant on the O glass. Ced Martinez says he's watching in from Belize in Central America. Catherine Tapia says, watching from Montreal. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Rick Roberts tuning in from Hong Kong. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. As there is the shot, and Prohl continuing to be a dominant player. Prohl really, really solid so far in this game, in this tournament. As there's the floater. Argentina, no. O board this time for Argentina. Another one, and fouled on the way up was Renata Stordo. Stordo has played some limited minutes, did not play last time as well for Argentina. Pulled down a rebound in her first appearance. 6'1" power forward. stepping up to the free throw line. And Stordo, the second attempt. Michelle Doyle, Domitin. Saying, let's go Sarah Reed, number 11. Go Team Canada. Alright, sorry about the stream there. We are all back and ready to go. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Sound Music Group production. Shout out to Chance Berry. And let's go Chance. Grizzly Visuals, Team Canada, and the Raptors, of course. Should have some Raptors fans in here, being Team Canada and all. Dania, Grizzly Visuals cheering for Dania Prawl, excuse me. It says, let's go. Matsumayon says, besides the U.S., what are the best countries in this tournament? Let us know in the chat. Who do you think are the best teams in this tournament? Certainly, these are two of them, Argentina and Canada, both undefeated heading into today's action. And Canada proving to be quite dominant, up by 30 points here getting to the last 45 seconds of the third quarter. Leandro calling USA and Canada in the final again, giving the United States the win. Fun prediction there. Antonella says, Vamos Argentina. Thank you still for tuning in. It's so very much appreciated. 20 seconds left in this third quarter. A 33-point advantage. As another pass stolen. Up ahead. Jada Quealy on the score in transition. A 35-point lead as Argentina still can't finish, and the third quarter comes to a close. 35-point lead, 74-39, and Canada from the defense to start the second quarter all the way to this point, defense to offense, gives Canada a huge lead heading into the fourth. Stay with us here as we will take a quick break. We'll have some fun in the chat come the fourth quarter, and we'll see what each team's reserves have a chance to do. Stay with us as this is just the first of four. Thank you for tuning in.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Canada, excuse me, welcome back here for the fourth quarter. Canada continuing to build on a lead, now just 2 points from doubling Argentina's score. And it has been that kind of afternoon for Argentina, as the last few quarters have not treated them well. Only a 2-point Canada advantage after one. In the second quarter, 23-11, Canada won. And in the third quarter, what a quarter for Canada, 30-9. As Canada, from that moment, about 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter, has gone on quite the run. Argentina has not been able to get much offense, and Canada, their defense is leading to a lot of offense. There's Reed right down the lane. No foul called. Barrio Nuevo comes away with it. A lot of fans of Sarah Reed out there in the chat. Of course, make sure you're tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in, but try to tune in on YouTube. Go to the stream. You can search it up by looking for FIBA U16 Americas on YouTube, or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16 where you make sure to like and share and interact with it, or go and interact with us on social media on Facebook or Instagram at NextGenHoops using the hashtag FIBA U16 Americas. Make sure to follow there and subscribe to our YouTube channel, FIBA the Basketball channel, as this is only one of 4 games today to wrap up pool play, with Argentina and Canada starting things off. Canada in complete control. Up next, Brazil and the Dominican Republic. That wraps up Group B. Then Group A finishes up Puerto Rico and Colombia, and Mexico and the United States. Again, we appreciate you all so very much for tuning in and hop into this chat. I'm going to get to a lot of those comments here shortly. But I just wanted to say thank you as Parchment at the free throw line. Parchment, the 6-foot forward, plays for Fort Erie International Academy. Has teammates Dania Prawl also on the team here for Team Canada. And it will stay with them. As we jump over to the comments, Canada nearly doubling Argentina's score. Has a chance to more than do that right here, as Parchment front rims a shot, and it will not be a minute into the fourth. Argentina working their way around. 3-pointer no. Should stay with Argentina. Diego says, "Vamos, Argentina." Greetings from Mito, Tito, Gordo, and Cabezon. Hopefully I'm pronouncing those well enough. Thank you guys for tuning in. Olua says, "Canada, number 1. Whether you're referring to Jada Quealy or just Canada being number 1, I appreciate you tuning in. Rich says, "Shout out to Avery from Excel Prep School and Jada Denis." Appreciate the comment. Vilma Reed says, "Let's go, baby girl. Chance, so proud of you. I love it." Dr. Thierry Timbameta says that they believe the U.S. will be number 1, Canada 2, and Argentina in 3rd. Dr. Thierry Timbameta, I'm curious who you have in 4th place then, because 4 of these teams will advance to the FIBA U17 World Cup to be held in Turkey. Those are the 4 semifinalists. So who do you have finishing in 4th? Brian Willett. Hey, Padre. Says they have to take care of the basketball. That has certainly been the trouble for Argentina, as it has not looked pretty for much of this game. Canada has really just picked up the defensive pressure. Savonia says Canada. Some more Argentina fans. And Brian Willett, greetings from Indiana. Appreciate the comment. Thanks, Padre. Juan Pablo asked in, do I have info about how the brackets work? Juan Pablo, thank you so much for the question. Yes, so the pool games determine the seeding for the bracket, and it will be two sides of the bracket with the best team from Group A going up against the fourth team in Group B, second best for Group A going up against the third best for Group B, and then on the other side, the best team from Group B going up against the fourth best team from Group A, and the second best team from Group B going up against the third best team from Group A. And that will all be determined today, who finishes in which spots. Right now, it is looking very likely Canada, with their 36-point advantage, will be the first seed from Group B, putting Argentina in that second seed. And the winner of Brazil and the Dominican Republic for the third seed, with the last place team playing the best team from Group A. As the standings for the other side of the bracket, Group A, here through pool play, the U.S. in first place at 2-0, getting set to play Mexico in the late game tonight. And Puerto Rico and Colombia, both tied at 1-1, with Colombia having the tiebreaker right now over Puerto Rico. They will face off in the first game of the evening slate, the third game of the day. As we are almost wrapped up with 9 of our 12 games in the tournament, we have had a blast over here at the FIBA U16 Women's Americas Championship. I know I've had a load of fun with Group B, covering all of their games the afternoon. And thank you to all of you who have commented. We really appreciate you for interacting with us and having a good time as we watch some basketball. We have a greetings from Costa Rica, from Doble Onada. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for commenting. And Dr. Thierry Kimbameta has Colombia finishing fourth, saying they played great yesterday against the U.S. And that's what I've heard as well, as they started out strong in that first half, but then the United States just pulled away. A 93-29 victory for the U.S. over Colombia. Unreal. All the way to the rim, Jordan Wheeler fouled for Canada. As Wheeler heads to the free throw line. 35-point ball game. Argentina starting to put a few points on the board. It's all tied 5-5 here in this quarter. Tarampas says Greece. Juan Pablo says it'd be nice to see Argentina and Colombia match up. So the way that would have to work would probably be semifinal. But a tough draw, as if we looked at it right now, with the order that Group A is in currently, Team USA would be first, Colombia would be second. So as the second best team, it would be kind of on the different side of the bracket. Colombia might have to lose against Puerto Rico if they would like to go up against Canada, assuming both of these teams win moving forward. As Barrio Nuevo called for the travel, I believe. So back the other way for Canada. Just 7 points from doubling the Argentina score. Yes, Tarampas says greetings from Greece. Diego says watching from Argentina. Say hi to Mito, Tito, Gordo, and Tabezon. Official Hooper. Canada versus the USA is gonna be crazy. I love that. That's a great take because, I mean, Canada looking like this on the defensive end. There's not gonna be a whole lot anyone can do against that. As the shot from Novoa blocked and out of bounds, it will stay with Argentina. At least they stopped pressing, unlike USA, as Team Canada certainly has been a hindrance to Argentina thus far. Tej Saota, apologies for the pronunciation, but says hello from Canada. I am curious for everybody watching and in the chat. Who do you think has been the player of the game for Canada in this one, as they lead by 37 points halfway through the fourth? I'll run through some good options. Sierra Parchment with 10 points. 4 for 9 from the field, 1 for 5 from downtown, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, to go on with 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal, and a block. So an all-around game from Sierra Parchment. Dania Prawl, 15 points, 6 for 15 from the field, 0 for 4 from downtown. So inside the arc, very efficient, 6 of 11. 3 for 5 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and a block for Dania Prawl. Let's see who else. Avery Arige has 6 points, 2 for 4 from downtown, to go along with 2 assists and 2 steals. Chance Berry chipping in 11 points, 5 for 7 from the field. Very efficient, 2 rebounds, 2 assists as well. Chance Berry off the bench, very solid. Ernie Arinue, also very good. 9 points, 4 for 7 from the field, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. 9 rebounds, very impressive. 9 boards, 9 points, nearly a double-double for Ernie Arinue. To roll on with an assist and a block. And I think lastly, to point out, Savannah Swords with 10 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 2 for 3 from downtown, and 2 rebounds, 3 assists. So who's been the player of the game so far for Canada? Let me know, as I've just gone through all of the double-digit scorers, all scorers who hit double figures. Dr. Thierry Kimbameta, thank you for chiming in and helping here. Parchment is the answer for Dr. Thierry Kimbameta. Certainly has an argument. Has been really a tone setter as well. Just very consistent and steady for this Canadian team. 81-45. 4.5 minutes to play. Canada still running some offense. As they move it around. Prawl at the end of the shot clock. Shot no, but a shot clock violation. Did not touch the rim, even though they had players ready to offensive rebound. Right now we're at 41 lights. I know we've had a couple of different streams with the stream going out at one point. But let's see if we can't get that to 50 lights here. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. As Canada continues to pile on. Sarah Reed all the way to the basket. I know we've got some Sarah Reed fans out over in the chat. Show some love as Sarah Reed fouled and finishes through the contact. Carla Fletcher saying Dania Prawl, player of the game. Juan Pablo saying Prawl, is it? Has some very good numbers, and I think even more than the numbers, Juan Pablo. It's been the defense for Dania Prawl. We've got a couple of votes there. A vote for Parchment. Let me know what you think on the player of the game. Completed in the three-point play. 84-45 advantage. 85-45 rather. Argentina has really struggled so far today as Prawl pulls down yet another rebound. adds to her 15-point night. Canada continues to push. 3 minutes left. Seba Darko says, let's go Canada. But Argentina, as I mentioned, the struggles. No one in double figures. The closest sold to Petrie's with 9 points. 3 for 6 from the field. 2 for downtown. Only 1 for 3 from the free throw line to go along with an assist. Next closest, Fiamma Solis and Juana Barrio Nuevo. Solis, 3 for 6 from the field. 0 for 1 from downtown. 1 for 2 from the stripe. To go with a rebound and 3 assists. Barrio Nuevo, 7 on 3 for 6 shooting as well. 1 for 4 from downtown. 5 rebounds and 3 assists, so filling it up in other ways. And then you've seen 5 from Milagros Morel, who, wow, did Canada do a great job defending her. Morel coming into the tournament, I've mentioned it, 18.5 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists on 50% from the field and from 3-point range. But so far today, 5 points, 1 for 5 from the field, 1 for 2 from downtown, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So with 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and an unfortunate stat of 7 turnovers. So Argentina not having the best day as they shoot, surprisingly, just 31% from the 3-point line, 64% from the free throw line on 25 attempts, and 27% from the field. Just narrowly losing the rebound battle, 42-41 here with 2 minutes left. And a lot fewer assists, 17-8, but more turnovers, 32-15. That is really the stat that stands out. 32 Argentina turnovers to just 15 for Canada, as Canada's got 15 steals to just 3 for Argentina. Turnover is not going to help much at all. Lawrence Hufford says they struggled in the second half, scoring 15 for the whole half. That is quite the stat to point out, as 15 points to this point with more missed free throws to go along with 11 in the second quarter. That makes it a 68 to, excuse me for my math, 68 to 26 run. And you can raise that even more, 70 to 26 run for Canada, as they are still nearly doubling Argentina's score with 1:42 left. So the question from Juan Pablo, would you consider FIBA rules to be a bit stricter than the NBA's when handling physical contact during the game? I think yes, and you can point out to some notable interviews like Luka Doncic saying it's just a little bit easier with the space and the defense to score at the FIBA level. But I think, yeah, when it comes to the rules, you did away with a little bit more on the FIBA level. Well, the NBA has gone away with hand checking. And I think there's also an advantage with no defensive 3-second for the defense. And you've got to be much more skilled at the FIBA level to really excel. Everyone's got to be able to shoot, handle the ball. When you're able to put your tallest and strongest players down in the middle and they don't have to move out of there. Unlike the NBA and the college game. Or not even the college game over in America. Second half points, a 70 to 26 run for Canada, and they can add to it now. I mean, that's over 3 quarters and about 5 seconds in the first quarter, where they have gone on this incredible run, including the second half, as was pointed out by Lawrence. 15 points allowed, so 44-15. Made it 45-15 here in the second half. Canada locked in defensively. And when they do that, as well as controlling the basketball on their end, they are hard to stop. Of course, if anyone's to do it, the matchup with the U.S. has been talked about quite a bit. As we've got a comment from Will Minacho Morales, the rules are okay. This is how the players were to seen how they should behave during matches. Will, that's a very fair take. I will give you that because I think you have to. It does make it a little bit tougher on the offense, and you have to be the most skilled in order to stand out. I think that's no different on the NBA game, that is. But for the FIBA game, you've got to be able to space it out just a little bit more. Although you're seeing that as well with the last few years of the NBA. As 90-45, Canada now up by twice the score, and they add 2 more with 18 seconds left. 92-45, and that should just about do it. Canada has locked up the number 1 seed in Group B, and will have the best possible matchup heading into tournament play as they win 92-45 over Argentina. What an offensive explosion that was spurred by the defense. Canada shoots 45% from the field compared to 26% for Argentina. From three-point range, they shoot just a little bit better, 30-29 free throws. Not great on either side. 17 steals for Canada compared to just 3, resulting in 35 Argentina turnovers compared to just 15. 18 assists for Canada compared to 8 for Argentina. 3 blocks compared to 4 blocks, Canada with the advantage. And points off turnovers, the real stat to look at. 36 points off turnovers compared to 10. Canada over Argentina, including 18 fast break points for Canada to just 6 for Argentina. What a showing from Team Canada as they take the early hits from Argentina, shooting 4 for 5 in the first quarter, and just go on an absurd 72-26 run to close out the ball game over the last 30 minutes and 5 seconds, including allowing only 15 points in the second half. A 47-15 run as Canada takes over the 1 seed. And wrap up pool play for them. We have one more game with Brazil and the Dominican Republic coming up after this. I will be on the call. Go find that stream by searching FIBA U16 Americas or going to FIBA.basketball/Americas/U16Women/2023. We can find a lot of information, but the link for that next game, as it is the second of 4 on the day, with Puerto Rico and Colombia and Mexico and the United States wrapping up Group A after my last game. Brazil and Dominican Republic next, as Canada comes out on top 92-45 over Argentina. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining in on the chat as we had a great time. Canada dominant here at the FIBA U16 Americas Championship.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation? Representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands. It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.